Welcome back to Invest Global. Today we're discussing Fantom's incredible rise to fame with over 100x gains in the past year and really doing this crazy 3x just in the past day. Absolutely crazy things, along with some altcoins you can actually look out for to really ride this trend. Some catalysts that I think caused this incredible upward momentum with Fantom, their DAG technology, comparing that with blockchain technology, all these different things, even including some interoperability things like Abracadabra and a little bit of Bitcoin technical analysis. So let's hop right into it. So if you don't understand Fantom, basically to break this down from a fundamental point of view, you have blockchain technology and you have DAG technology. So blockchain technology is used by, I would say, 99% of projects out there. If you're looking at the top projects in this crypto space, the majority of these are using blockchain technology. We'll just take Bitcoin for this example. Very, very simple understanding, then we'll move on to more things. But with Bitcoin, every 10 minutes a new block is formed. This kind of in a horizontal manner. You verify all the transactions. Different nodes around the network do this. There's kind of an incentive with miners to gain block rewards with this. But with DAG technology, there really is no miners. Okay, so there's really no in this case with Fantom, actually there's around 50 nodes. But in this case, instead of looking at it as horizontal, you can look at it almost like a tree, right? So it's really vertical. Instead of horizontal blocks, it's vertices. Okay, that's one way to understand it. And I think from a basic understanding, what you need to know about the differences here is with DAG technology, you don't really have all these problems that do come with blockchain technology. So typically, I've talked about this in the past. You have a lot of these problems with different projects where they face the blockchain trilemma. So this comes down to decentralization, scalability, and security. And really with DAG technology, they're focusing on fixing the blockchain technology and fixing that really trilemma, right? So the blockchain trilemma. And I personally think Fantom has done an incredible job of doing this. If you're interested in a specific video on what a DAG is, I can actually make that video. But for today's understanding, really what I want you to get is it's not the same mechanism as you have with a lot of these other projects. That's one of the reasons I do think this is really interesting. It allows for microtransactions to be done way, way, way simpler. It allows for things like NFTs, which is definitely one of the other catalysts we'll talk about here with some of the announcements they've made in the past little bit, to be very, very simple, right? So with Ethereum, if you want to launch an NFT and people are playing around at smaller levels, right? So they're not tossing around 6 figures, 7 figures in some of these things. They're tossing around, maybe they want to play around with it 100, 200 bucks. You're using something like Ethereum, the transaction fees are getting way too high. But the beautiful thing about interoperability with Fantom is you can have incredibly low transaction fees and higher throughput, right? So that's one of the interesting things with DAG technology, but also some of the pullbacks that people do worry about is the decentralization factor, right? So that's the part of the staking mechanism, but we'll move on from there. I hope you have a little bit of a better understanding. And one of the things that I do want to point out here is starting off this year, I mean, just look at this, right? So we were right around 2 cents, right? So even if you go back to the new year, I was in Montenegro in the new year. Let's see, so we were around, 0.017 cents. We've done over 100x. Personally, I'll talk about this more later, but I do think we can do possibly another 2x, especially if you compare some of these other projects that are in front of Fantom and what Fantom's building, especially with their interoperability. If we look here on the website, by the way, everything we talk about throughout the video will be linked down below in the description. It really lays it out very, very well. One of the things that I find very, very fascinating is not only that they're Ethereum compatible, so they're interoperable, right? So if you're having issues with Ethereum, you can actually deploy some things on Fantom, deploy your decentralized applications there. We've seen a lot of network adoption with that, and we'll talk about that with Magic Internet Money and Abracadabra. But they actually have a lot of use cases for things like CBDCs, right? So more of instead of just going for only the kind of a consumer retail level, they're going for institutional level, right? So going for governments, right? So you see all these different governments doing different things, considering it. China's already rolled this out with banning crypto, so they've kind of, in my opinion, put themselves in a corner in that way. But if a government like Egypt, for example, where the Egyptian pound is horrible, you ask anyone here, would they rather take Egyptian pounds or US dollars or euros? I'm sure they'd even rather take Bitcoin, right? Most people don't even understand it here. But, it's one of these things where a lot of governments have major issues with the currencies, not only things like fraud, but you have things like a double spend, all these problems that you have with kind of the traditional banking system, with the Swift banking system, and there's other projects that are going out to fix that. And that's why I think Fantom's quite interesting. They do have this kind of build on Fantom thing. They have the stake on Fantom, like I was saying. You can see this as kind of this interactable thing. They also talk a lot about, like I said, CBDCs. So if we go back here and we take a look at this, market cap is sitting right now up 28% on the daily, close to $6 billion. We're right at $5.7 billion. Price, we're looking at 2.25, up about 30% on the daily, close to there. This is just ballistic, absolutely ballistic. I love to see it. But the one thing I did want to talk about here is if you just compare some of these other projects, right? So if we're looking at the top 20, in my opinion, things like Shiba Inu, things like Bitcoin Cash, I do like Algorand, I do like Chainlink, Wrap Bitcoin will stay up there most likely. But things like Uniswap, so individual decentralized applications, when they're not layer ones, those, in my opinion, will probably be in the bottom, at least under 20. In my opinion, the top 20 projects, especially in the next bull run, to look out for if you're looking at long-term investing, which is what a lot of what I talk about. Yes, you can speculate in the short term, but I like to identify these long-term trends and invest for the long term. So things like this, Dogecoin, I mean, come on. XRP in a way. I think a lot of these will get replaced by layer ones that are doing very, very well. So some examples of this would be something like Avalanche moving up to the top 10 potentially. Things like, let's see, Stellar, potentially Cosmos, VeChain, not the biggest fan of Tron. FTT I could see moving up there. Tezos in a way, and Fantom. So Fantom is one of these where you see this market cap, and in order to get in that top 20, which I definitely think it could, we would see about a 2x from here. And again, to replace Shiba Inu, we should definitely replace Shiba Inu, and especially Dogecoin. I mean, these really need to move out the way because they're not really solving real-world problems. But something like Fantom is solving real-world problems. They have an incredible user interface. If you're curious on seeing maybe a walkthrough, maybe a tutorial on how to use some Fantom decentralized applications, let me know. There's things like Spooky Swap. The other people were talking about, I was just talking with the guy, and he's like, what am I doing, man? I'm trading spooky tokens, and I don't even know what is my life. But this is the world of crypto. And it's a fascinating world to be in, right? So if we look here, these are some of the altcoin picks that I would look at. So if you actually look at the categories, when you're on CoinMarketCap, there's other ways of doing this as well. We're actually working with some people running through this project, the Decentralized Application Map, or the DAP map, where we're hiring people to come in, do some research on different blockchain networks, and more things to come with that. But we are still hiring. If you have a resume or anything like that, you can send us an email at the description down below. It's contact@investglobal.io, or you can join the Telegram group and let us know through there. But if we're looking at this with the Fantom network, you might be going, hey, wait a second. So why am I not seeing all these altcoins that I want to pick out, right? Well, that's because of the interoperability. So in the Fantom category, this is one of the problems that I actually see with CoinMarketCap is that I want to see, when I click on the Fantom category, I want to see only Fantom projects. So I want to see things like Spooky. Sounds so strange. I want to see things, let's see. So pretty much all of these, like I said, it's interoperability. It's cross-chain, right? So a Spirit Swap is a great example. There's things like Fusion, and some of these other ones, Spooky Swap down here, where it's tiny market cap with a Boo token. These are more interesting. So that's why we're building out this decentralized application map, or the DAP map project. Again, we're hiring people, developers, altcoin researchers, different things like this, to go through each different kind of layer one blockchain and look at all the different things like Avalanche, like Cardano, like Solana, and going from there. So beyond that, if we're looking here on the Twitter, which, by the way, you should definitely follow any projects, especially all these layer ones, like I'm saying. You need to follow them on Twitter to keep up to date with these. I personally should check Twitter more, but with all the travel, with all the things I do with running the different businesses, it is a bit hard. But you can follow us at investglobal_io. It's also linked down below in the description. Fantom will have their Twitter link down below as well. By the way, the Magic Internet Money that we're going to talk about, Roland, I've had some conversations with him on the channel. Definitely check out his channel. It's called Micro Whale on YouTube. Very, very interesting guy. I met him when I was in Tbilisi, Georgia. I'm kind of missing Tbilisi. I'm not going to lie. Egypt is one of these places where it's a bit more intense than a lot of other countries that I spend time in. But yeah, Cairo is definitely not a city for the faint of heart. But you can see these different things, right? So PaintSwap, for example, the 2.0 has arrived. The number one NFT marketplace on Fantom just got better. Native FTM supports, edit prices, auto zaps, auction extensions, and so much more. Read the details in their Medium. So definitely check this out. Like I said, if you find their Twitter, read through these things. This is what I was talking about in the beginning with NFTs essentially having this kind of high barrier to entry due to the fees. Fantom, in my opinion, fixes a lot of this with their DAG technology versus the blockchain technology. Obviously, like I said, there's pros and cons to each, but I'm trying not to get idealistic about this. Some people may go, hey, that's not the right way of thinking. I'm always open-minded. I'm always looking to improve my point of view. So if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. And also you can, like I said, join the Telegram group of like-minded investors, all in there. So now moving on to today's sponsor, Apollo Fintech. Now, I love Apollo Fintech. I partnered up with them because I'm actually very passionate about what they're doing. One of the most interesting things that I find, beyond the fact that they've accomplished the goal to become the world's fastest cryptocurrency and sustainable blockchain, is this whole thing going on with replacing wire transfers. So this is something that I really want to focus in on today. right here with their Knox wire system. So you can think about swiping a card or sending someone a wire. Yes, crypto improves this process, but with Knox wire, this is basically an international bank settlement system that uses bidirectional signature to remove intermediaries and speed up 3-day settlements in times to 2 seconds, speeding up international finance significantly and cutting cash settlements restrictions in half. That is incredible. I've talked about this a lot, but if you look at a lot of emerging market countries, look at Afghanistan, what's going on, right? If you look at transferring money out of this country, basically sending a value, whatever currency that's in. If you trust the traditional banking system, TransferWise cut you off, PayPal cut you off. All these different things cut you off if you're in these places. But if you understand how to use something in the crypto space like Knoxwire, like Apollo Fintech, that is a beautiful thing. You can check out their e-government platform. I really love this because they're an all-encompassing project, and Apollo Fintech is going after so many different things. I'll talk a lot more about them moving forward, but let's move on with the video. I'll have the links for everything with Apollo down below in the description. Beyond this, the NFT marketplace, you also have something with Cream Finance, so they're excited to announce, after working closely with Iron Finance, the Iron Bank, not Iron Finance, like the other one that I was talking with Roland about, that was kind of a bit of a rug pull, which he actually identified earlier. I remember I was in Georgia, not Georgia the state, but when we're talking about Tbilisi, Georgia, it's the most eastern country in Europe, okay? So it's right next to Ukraine and Armenia, and on the Black Sea. Very, very beautiful country. It's probably starting to get a little bit cold there. That's why I'm in Egypt. It was getting cold while I was in Greece, so I decided to head south. But the point is, he identified that rug pull early. Here, they're basically bringing in all these new projects, and that's what I love about Fantom. To continue on here, there's all these different things that have rolled out. I absolutely love what's going on with Fantom. Like I said, if we move here onto DeFi Llama, I did want to point this out here, and then we'll move into MIM and kind of wrap up the video. But with Abracadabra, you can see right here, so this is the spell token. They also have MIM, which is a stable coin. It's on multiple different blockchains, so it's beautiful because it's cross-chain. So you have it on Fantom. You have it on, I can't remember this exact logo. Let me know in the comments. I'm drawing a blank on it. I should know it. You have it on Avalanche and you have it on Ethereum. So if we look at this article right here, Magic Internet Money races past $1 billion, set sights on MakerDAO. So if we're looking at where MakerDAO is, it's the top dog. You know, it's one of these top dogs, it's top three. For the longest time in the Daily DeFi series, I tracked all of these. Now I've taken a little break from it, but once we break, especially on DeFi Pulse, I do like DeFi Llama, but once we break $100 billion locked in, I think I might do another DeFi Pulse, or Daily DeFi episode rather, and cover what's going on in the market because it is so fascinating. So, I mean, if they reach that, it'll be absolutely incredible because we're looking at a TVL of around $13.84 billion versus, here we go with Abracadabra, we're only looking at $1.81 billion. So in that case, we'd be looking at what? Close to a 15, 14x gain, which is pretty insane. So back to this article, Abracadabra Money enables users to provide collateral via interest-bearing tokens and borrow the Magic Internet Money stablecoin against their holdings. Abracadabra Money's stablecoin Magic Internet Money has passed the $1 billion total supply. So this is, again, the beautiful thing about being cross-chain is you have all these different access points, right? So if someone's only using Binance, for example, if someone's only using Avalanche, if someone's only using Ethereum, or Arbitrum is the one that I mix, is basically you can access all of these. So it's like all roads lead to Rome, right? So in this case, if you're only reliant on just Fantom, it probably wouldn't do as well. If you're only reliant on just Avalanche, it probably wouldn't do as well. So that's why you should watch out for projects like this. I do like Magic Internet Money and what Abracadabra Money is doing. So lastly here with a little Bitcoin outlook, I was considering doing a little technical analysis video for Bitcoin, but I don't want to make it too boring. Right now, I mean, we're basically about to break all-time highs, right? So we have a decent amount of rejection right up here. This is a key level to watch for a bit of a retracement. So we could retest either this level right here at the 52.86, or we could touch back down here, maybe do a little retest and then go for higher highs. But I mean, if we hit higher highs, that's where I see Fantom and a lot of these altcoins exploding, especially if you're using Bitcoin as kind of this leading indicator and then the overall crypto market cap and Bitcoin dominance. The crypto market cap, you can kind of see this cup and handle pattern that we're currently in. And yeah, I mean, I think crypto is going to do incredibly well. So if you guys have any questions, anything like that, let me know in the comments. I didn't want to spend too much time here on the Bitcoin chart. If you want to see a deep dive video into any one of these individual topics, if you want to see only a Fantom video, only an Apollo currency video, only a whatever video, let me know in the comment section down below. We have Twitter and Instagram at investglobal_io. Like I said right here, we also have, the Telegram group linked down below in the description, the must-watch videos, all that is down there. Everything we talk about throughout this video is linked down below in the description. If you guys have any questions, anything like that, let me know in the comment section. Join the Telegram group, Invest Global, and until next time.